On Ticketmaster, about 50% of the seats for Saturday's card at the Bell Center are still available, with blue seats showing available tickets and pink seats showing resale tickets in a screenshot shared by Damon Martin. While the pay-per-view portion of the card will have 2 title fights and feature former champions like Jose Aldo and Alexa Grasso based on Thelates seat availability, it doesn't sound like fight fans are feeling the card. Unless something changes, don't be surprised to see resale prices plummet before fight night. Makhachev. Makhachev moving up for the welterweight belt? Moving up for the welterweight belt, recently we shared that Makhachev is in training camp for his next UFC fight, but the opponent is yet to be revealed. A lot of signs are pointing towards it being Ilia Topuria. However, a recent post on Instagram might say otherwise. Last night, Makhachev's training partner shared the following message on Instagram, which was reposted by Islam Makhachev. He goes for the second one at Dana White. This could be implying that Makhachev is moving up to fight for the second belt, and this is coming after Makhachev met with Hunter Campbell earlier this week. But what do you guys think this message means? Let us know down in the comments. Below, Joe Rogan exposes Paddy Pimblett's secret. Rogan exposes Paddy Pimblett's secret. On a recent episode of Joe Rogan Exposed, a trick that Paddy Pimblett uses as an advantage against his opponents. Joe said that Paddy is much bigger than people think, regardless of him getting fat between fights. He's basically saying that Paddy physically at times looks like he doesn't take things seriously, but when it comes time to go, he's always ready. Here's what Joe had to say. Paddy's a big lightweight. He really is. I know he gets real fat in between fights. He gets a kick out of it. But he's big. Yeah, he's big, He's a lot bigger than people think. I always say that he tricks people by dancing and having silly hair, and you go, oh, that's a killer. He's like tricking you. He's like one of them thembugs that pretends it's a stick when you get close and he jacks you. Yeah, he looked so good. He's really good, which Chand, I love Chandler. Love Chandler, that was a tough one to watch. I love Chandler as well, but I love Paddy as well. Paddy is very impressive. Oh yeah, there's a good argument that the last 3 guys he fought, Bobby Green, Chandler, and Tony Ferguson, like he's fighting guys with losing records, which is true. That is true, but it's still very impressive what he did to Chandler in comparison to like what Oliveira did. Like Oliveira was in real trouble in the 3rd round of their last fight, real trouble, and real trouble in the 1st round of their first fight. Yeah, and Paddy was never in trouble. Bilal, Mohammed sends a warning to Jack Della Maddalena. Mohammed sends a warning to Jack Della Maddalena ahead of their 5-round main event this weekend. For the title, Bal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena have been ramping up the trash talk in response to JDM, saying that he's a better fighter and suggesting that it might be time for Muhammad to start thinking about retirement after Saturday's fight. The champion fired back during an interview with Pavle V. Beck. Be careful what you wish for when you talk like that. When you write a check you can't cash, you're going to eat a little bit of crow. When I go out there and I fight, I show the best IQ in the UFC. I show the best art in the UFC. I put it all together better than anybody else. So let's see if you can match that same energy. Saturday night. The champion also discussed the possibility of a fight with Islam Makhachev after telling the lightweight champ that there's no way he leaves Montreal without the belt on Saturday, and so he might as well book his next fight instead of waiting to see what happens. Before showing this clip, we want to give a huge shout out to Pavel Verobek for letting us use his footage. Yeah, I'm fighting for money. It's not about money with me and those guys, right? It's about loyalty. They've done so much for me. They've helped me so much. It wouldn't make any sense for me to fight those guys. So I think a lot of questions will be answered on Saturday. After Saturday, we'll know a lot what's going on, and even me and him will discuss what we want to do. With fight night right around the corner, it won't be long before we get to see Muhammad and JDM throwdown inside the octagon, guys. You just saw Colby Covington hides Bilal Muhammad's food at UFC Pai Bal's meal in here. So we're going to hide it from you so you can't find it, Bal. Your food is not going to. No one's finding this. I don't know. Anybody. Going to find that, sorry. Below. You're bummed. What happens to Bomb Bilal? Muhammad reacts to Colby Covington hiding his Fuda. And then lastly, I just saw a video online Kalabi Coington hid your food at the PI. I don't know if you're aware of that or if you even care, but curious what you think about Kobe still throwing shots at you at this point. He hid my food in the I'm not even in Vegas. That's how much of a he is. I don't know what he's doing. These guys are like YouTubers now. Kamar's a podcaster, Kobe's a YouTuber. They need to do a podcast together. The biggest losers. Ian Gary goes off on Sean Brady. Ian Gary goes off on Sean Brady and Joaquin Buckley and Walking Buckley on the heels of his win over Carlos Prates. Ian Gary is Allen on a crack at the title. While fighters like Sean Brady and Walking Buckley believe that they deserve to fight, the Bal Muhammad Jack Della Marilena winner. Gary doesn't think that either of the two deserve the title fight more than he does. During an interview with Full Send MMA The Future, went off on the pair of contenders. You've got Walking Buckley acting like an fool. He's desperate. He's mentioned my name every single possibility he can because he knows no one cares about him, but when he mentions my name, they care Sean Brady as well. Boring. No one really cares about him. No one really wants to watch him fight. Half the stadium was empty when him and Leon fought. They don't care about him. When I show up, everyone's talking. Everyone wants to get the cameras out. Everyone knows we're going to get gold here. We're going to get gold. At any time, this could pop off and go viral. I just show up. I do me. I have the energy that I have, and I put on a show for the fans. Gary also joked that, although he tries to go out there and finish his opponents every fight, he's been a bit of a decision machine as of late. Following his big short notice win over Carlos Prates, Gary will be weighing in on Friday as the backup for the Bal Muhammad Jack Della Marilena title fight, which he hopes means he's next in line for a crack at the belt. Bo Nickel talks about UFC loss and what's next, On Saturday, Bo Nickel was on the wrong end of a crushing knee that wound up seeing him suffer the first loss of his MMA career. Despite entering the bout as the betting favorite, Nichols seemed to be a step behind throughout the fight, with RDR controlling the bout in the clinch and on the ground. On Tuesday he appeared on the Ariel Helwani show to reflect on the loss. It wasn't really that last sequence that did it. It was more so the accumulation. He hit me in the body a lot in that first round. I don't think I really showed it too much, but in the clinch, he landed, knees landed punches. It was an accumulation of damage there, and then the last one was just a nail in the coffin. Nickel also responded to claims that he got fraud checked by RDR, saying that regardless of how many times he loses, he's unwavering in his pursuit of UFC gold, I believe. That one loss doesn't define me. Even if I lose again, I could lose 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to keep getting better and keep improving. I just want to keep getting better at fighting. While Nickel came up short on Saturday, as AT coach Mike Brown wrote on Instagram, there's no substitute for experience. With that in mind, Nickel's already looking to finalize his next fight and wants to get back in the octagon sooner rather than later. I want to fight ASAP. Let's go and get back into it. I would like to fight a couple more times this year, so getting back as quickly as possible would be good for me. Considering he wants to fight a few more times this year, don't be surprised if we see Nickel back in action before the end of the summer. MMA community reacts to MMA community, reacts to Ilia Topuria's body transformation. Ilia Taputia's body transformation. The last time Tapia fought at 155 was back in 2022. Now ahead of his big return to 155 after vacating the featherweight title, the champ is looking absolutely jacked in new photos shared online. The MMA community was quick to react to Topuria's transformation, with one fan joking, looking like a middleweight hair. Another added, he's ripped, man. One fan predicted a Dar submission if Topuria winds up facing Islam. Makhachev forearms look thicker, getting that Dar ready for Islam, it seems. Others think that Makhachev doesn't want anything to do with Topuria. We have solid steel rock hard abs and giant biceps. It's no surprise Islam would run away from someone superior to him. Another referenced the massive weight cut Toya made to get to 145. Maybe he's 182 pounds after all. One replied, 185 at 5'6", shredded is diabolical. While Topi already started training camp for his next fight, he took the time to have some fun with young BJJ athlete Melissa Litvinenko. Although we'll have to wait to find out whether Topuria is fighting Islam Makhachev for the title or someone else for an interim belt. It sounds like it's only a matter of time before we get news of his Juliana. Pena accuses Kayla Harrison for being on PEDs. Next fight. Juliana Pena accuses Kayla Harrison of being on PEDs. There's no love lost between Juliana Pena and Kayla Harrison. And ahead of their upcoming title fight in early June, the trash talkie's ramping up to say the least. During an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show on Tuesday, the Venezuelan vixen took aim at Harrison, accusing her of taking